My other book I've left someplace, but there's a section here on the augurs and harrospect. A harrospect is someone who reads livers. Why did they read livers? Because, as he'll explain it here, can anyone find that section on that? I don't know where it is now. Of course, we've all got different section books here. So, I don't know if I can find it. Then the bird flight. The augur reads bird flights, but I don't find the text of the reasoning. Because I somehow misplaced my other book. Let's see. Anyone find this bird flight augur reading liver deal? I think here it is, divination, here it is. It's in the Painted Tombs of Tarkina, Part 1. Birds fly portentously on the walls of the tomb. The artist must often see those priests, the augurs, with their crooked bird-headed staffs in their hands, out at a high place, watching the flight of larks. Towards the end of Tarkina 1, I don't have the exact page for you. My book is 61 here, but we've got different numbers. They were reading the signs of importance, looking for an indication how they should direct the course of some serious affair. To us it may seem foolish, to them, and here's the key to understanding, hot-blooded birds flew through the living universe. Now, only a Lawrence could figure this one out. As feelings and premonitions fly through the breast of a man, or if you like a woman, or as thoughts fly through the mind. In their flight, the suddenly roused, hot-blooded birds, lovely word. In their flight, the suddenly roused birds, or the steady far-coming birds, moved wrapped in a deeper consciousness in the complex destiny of all things. And since all things correspond in the ancient world, and man's bosom mirrored itself in the bosom of the sky, or vice versa, the birds were flying to a portentous goal in a man's breast, or a woman's breast, who watched, as well as flying their own way in the bosom of the sky. If the augur could see the birds flying in his heart, then he would know which way destiny too was flying for him. Well, that is the most incredible description of what augury is that I have ever read. Now, I don't know if you feel that. Who cares if you like what augury is? But, you know, when you do drive your car and you take a walk, particularly this kind of weather, or the spring or the fall, and you see the flights of birds, you know, you get a funny feeling often that they're speaking to you sometimes. They mean something to you. You see something like that, and it's obviously just in your imagination. But Lawrence here explains that the ancient peoples felt that way too, and therefore they tried to read these things. And his description, you know, how these things correspond is really amazing. So how would he know that? He didn't go to college like we did in a class like this to find it out. He had to discover it himself in his own being. And he looked into himself, and he was a kind of prophet, if you like. And so we see how much influence it's had in ways beyond fiction, as I say, in the area of sexual liberation and ecological insight. This is where his insight and creativity has expressed itself most, I think, in a way that many of us are unaware of. The science of augury certainly is not an exact science, but what's exact is our science, let's say, of psychology or economy. And augurs who are as clever as our politicians who also practice divination. You know, Reagan's wife used to look at astrology before she let him go anywhere. The day he was shot, I guess she didn't consult the astrologers. If ever they were ever to do anything worth the name, there's no other way when you're dealing with life. And the ancients always consulted augurs, oracles before they acted. Because the most frightening thing for man or woman in life is to decide something and to have to act on it. you need some sort of bolster usually to give you the feeling that you're doing the right thing or you're going in the right direction, because every path takes you in a different direction and you can't go back off it. It's true in personal relationships, it's true in professional things, even choosing what school you go to. All these things determine your path in life. The ancients call it destiny. There's no other way when you're dealing with life. And if you live by the cosmos, that's what his philosophy is, living by the cosmos. You look into the cosmos for your clue. If you live by a personal God, you pray to that God. If you're rational, you think things over. But it all amounts to the same thing. Prayer, thought, studying stars, watching bird flights, studying entrails of a sacrifice. That's a haruspex, H-A-R-U-S-P-E-X. Has it on this page, H-A-R-U-S-P-E-X.